Hi, I'm Dr. Jennifer V. Brown, your stroke specialist, and today we're going to discuss, does the lazy boy make you lazy after stroke? I have a lot of clients who prefer the lazy boy because they say it's so hard to get in and out of the bed, even if it's a hospital bed with bed rails. And I often wonder, do we just leave it to the nursing staff to get someone up, put them in the wheelchair, and then they come down to rehab and we work on things from a mat, which is very stable, that can go up and down? And not that the bed can't go up and down, but most hospital beds at home have a hand crank. And no one wants to be cranking, bending over to lift the bed up and down and then address the head versus feet positions. So I don't mind that they use the lazy boy, but we have to think of it from a patient client perspective. Why are they using it? And if they are, why are we not training them in the proper way so that it can be an effective environmental tool for them? But let's just look at the problems that being in a lazy boy may cause in the long run, especially if we don't train our clients in them. So, first thing, when you use the lazy boy and its lift chair components, you're not using your gluteal, your buttock muscles, the muscles on the side of the hip, your quad muscles, the muscles in the front of the thigh, and your calf muscles for the vertical portion of standing. When you stand up, those muscles need to contract and shorten to get you up. If the lazy boy just already puts you in a position, you can just push up with your arms and grab onto your walker or any device that you're using. The second thing that this lazy boy does, it prevents you from training your muscles so that you will not fall. The center of mass has to be lowered and positioned in between your base of support, which is your feet. So you want your trunk balanced in between your base of support. When you lower yourself, this is called the suspensory strategy, and I call it controlled squatting. If the chair is lifting you up, pushing you down, raising your knees up, dropping your back, you never have to load your body weight on your legs. Then you have no ankle or hip strategy. So once you're standing, your trunk doesn't have to do this, or you don't move your entire body from your ankle joint. Those are ankle and hip strategies. They help keep you upright really fast. And you don't know how to turn on your muscles quickly from the ankle or the hip if a chair is lifting your legs, lowering them down, moving your thighs, and moving your back. And then in that chair, it's decreased, shortening, concentric muscle work of your buttock muscles, your quad muscles, or your calf muscles. So when it lifts your legs up, and you want to probably do that to reduce the swelling in your ankles, you know what? Moving your ankles up and down, whether your legs are elevated or not, can help reduce the swelling. Doing your knees back and forth in your chair or kicking your legs up and down, that will help to reduce the swelling. Squeezing your butt muscle and lifting up one side to side, all right, will help get that fluid up from the leg, thigh, into the lymph system. It's processed and you can urinate it out. But we just don't move enough while we are in the lift chair. And another reason is that when we are reclined all the way back, when you see this in the video, you are not able and you're not strong enough to use your abdominal muscles. Those transverse abdominis comes on first, and the rectus abdominis stabilizes the trunk with the hip flexor to bring your body forward. We are so busy pulling with the arms. So it lifts your legs up, It brings your trunk back. You don't have to use those muscles eccentrically, controlled lengthening to go back. And then we're pulling up with our arms as opposed to using our hip flexors, whilst our rectus abdominis and our transverse abdominis are stabilizing the trunk. And every time your transverse abdominis, which are fanned muscles that are shaped in this direction, the lower part of the trunk come on, they also turn on some muscles called the multifidi in your lumbar spine. So it helps to keep the posture of the trunk. All right. And so they're not working isometrically. So when I have my clients in the chair, I really do have them do a lot of things. I have them bring their legs up and down without lifting them with the chair. I have them turn onto their sides. All right. I'll have them bring their knee up to their chest. I have them cross their arms and lift their upper trunk off of the chair, bring their trunk forwards, get their elbows up while their trunk is forward. They're reaching up while they're in the chair and moving the hip forwards and backwards. And I do it at different angles of the trunk back so they can get stronger in the increments of the range. That's why flexibility is so important, because you can strengthen a muscle along of its range when it's flexible. So here are some clinical questions to ask. What are the social determinants of health that may require the use of a recliner chair? Did you ever think that the person lives alone and that chair is closer in the front of the house, so if they have to answer the door? Is it a problem of the person? They have breathing problems and they need to be upright? All right. Is it a task problem? Are they maybe apple shaped and not strong enough to bring their trunk forward? Or their gluteus muscles aren't strong enough to get them forward and upright? Is it the environment? Are the doors in the house too narrow for them to get their wheelchair through or rolling walker through? So you have to think of all these things why the person is in the lazy boy. And is it a previous behavior? Were they sleeping in a chair? They need to be upright, maybe because of sleep apnea. And the research shows that people with sleep apnea are more prone to stroke now because they're not getting oxygenated blood to their brain during the night. And then, is the easy boy the most economic option for them to get to sit to stand if we are using it to train sit to stand, as opposed to getting a dynamic lift system like the T chair? It may not be economically feasible to get a dynamic system like the T chair. So you have to get the lazy boy to help the person. So here's what I do. I use the lazy boy and put it in the position, and the person is angled forward. And I say, squeeze your butt, tighten your thigh muscles. And I'm going to lower the chair 2 to 3 inches. Hold that position. Now lower yourself down into the seat. Now lean forward, squeeze your buttocks, squeeze your thighs. Hold that position. I'm going to lower the chair and then let them sink into the seat of the chair. Sometimes we're doing it all wrong. We are forcing the sit to stand portion, which is concentric work, which is a whole lot more work than doing the eccentric component, which is to start them in a standing position and let them lower themselves down slowly. Remember, I'm your trusted source for all things stroke neurorehabilitation. And don't forget about those ankle foot orthoses. I know a little bit about those things too. If you want to see more videos, stay tuned. Tuesdays and Thursdays, they are coming. And don't forget about your references. In order to best serve our clients, we have to apply the science behind rehabilitation for the best outcome. Thank you for listening. Have a great day. Bye.